As you're lying on your back, your legs extend to the front of your space. Hands can come to rest on the belly as you roll your shoulders down. Inhale, notice your belly rise with the breath. Exhale, blow it out. Belly comes down to the spine. Taking 2 more deep breaths, inhaling through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. Last one before we seal our lips. Inhale through the nose, belly rise. Exhale through the mouth, belly falls. Seal your lips, keeping your hands placed on your belly. Continue to focus on the placement of your breath. And now also move your focus to the length of your breath. 1-2 ratio breath, so maybe your inhales are 3-second long. You'll want to extend your exhales to 6 seconds. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, and noticing how your breaths lengthen with each round. Today's class is inspired by a mantra. I am learning as I grow. I am whole as I heal. I am blessed as I find my way. I am capable as I discover my passions. I am brave as I let go. I am worthy as I do what's best for me. And lastly, I am trusting as I change. Still lying on your back, moving into some cow-cat positions to start to open up the spine. Bend your knees so that your feet, the bottom of your feet, come down to the mat. Inhale, arch your back, creating space between your mat and your spine. Exhale, cat pose, pressing your spine into the mat. 2 more, inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Last one, inhale, Vipasana. Exhale, Marjariasana. Neutralizing the spine. Step your heels back towards your hips so you can graze the back of your heels with your fingertips. On an inhale, press into the feet and lift the hips off the ground into bridge pose. Hold here for a breath. Exhale, slowly lower your hips down to the ground. 2 more, linking breath to movement. Inhale, hips rise. Exhale, hips fall. Inhale, Setu Bandhasana. Exhale, hips come down to the ground. Extend your left foot to the front of your mat as you bend your knee into your torso. On an exhale, draw the right knee over to your right armpit so that your thigh comes to the right side of your torso. Squeeze it in tight here, opening up the hip space. Bend your right knee to 90 degrees so that the bottom of your right foot is stamped into the ceiling. Right arm comes to the inside of the right knee as you grasp the right big toe with your 2 right peace fingers for half happy baby. As you pull your right knee down towards the mat, you're staying active with your left foot. Left foot is flexed and left hip is pressing down into your mat. Grab your strap and place the strap on the ball of your right foot. So right where the toes meet your foot. You can grab the strap with your right hand. As you inhale, press your heel into the ceiling, stretching the right hamstring. Exhale, open up the right foot over to the right side. Being kind to your body as we just got on the mat, we'll have an opportunity to revisit this pose towards the end of our practice. But right now, we're just trying to open up the hip space. On your next inhale, heel comes up to the sky. Squeeze your right knee in and then switch out the legs. Right leg extended. Left knee squeezes into the torso and then draw the left knee over to the left armpit. Bend your left knee 90 degrees so that your bottom of the feet is stamped to the ceiling. And reach for the left toe with your left peace fingers for half happy baby. Again, staying active in both feet. On an inhale, wrap your strap around the ball of the left foot and lift the left foot to the sky. Staying active in both feet. You can start to pull the left leg a little closer towards the mat to stretch the left hamstring. On your next exhale, open your left leg over to the left side. Again, being gentle with the stretch. We're only just beginning. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, bend your knee. Bring it in for a squeeze. Draw your right knee in and scoop the back of your knees as you start to roll along your spine into a seated position. As I get this dog off my stomach. George, you're killing me. Finding a comfortable seat. Legs are crossed. Shoulders stack over your hips. Inhale, start to roll your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, roll your shoulders back. 4 more just like that. Opening up the shoulder space. When you've done those, you can go ahead and switch the direction. So now you inhale, shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, roll your shoulders forward. Coming back to neutral, feeling the sensations that you've already created. Inhale, arms extend out to a T. Exhale, wrap your right arm underneath your left, crossing at your elbows and wrists. If this is not available to you, you can always give yourself a bear hug here. We're really just trying to get into that shoulder space. Inhale, lift your elbows away from your chest. Exhale, round the back body, drawing your shoulders in, your elbows in. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, curl inward. Inhale, elbows rise. Exhale, elbows fall. Coming back to neutral position, arms come out to the side. This time, wrap your left arm underneath your right for eagle arms or bear hug. Same movement, inhale, elbows rise. Exhale, round in the back body. Inhale, elbows rise. Exhale, bring the elbows in towards the chest. Last one, inhale, elbows up, and exhale, elbows down. Arms come out to a T. Plant your left hand down next to your left hip. Fingertips are pointed to the left side. Inhale, right arm comes up to the sky. Exhale, bend your left elbow and start to bend over to the left side. Stay active in your right hip, pressing your right hip down to the mat to extend the side body stretch. Inhale, arms come to meet at the sky. Exhale, plant your right hand down. Left hand reaches up. And then fold over to your right side. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Switch out the legs here. And we're just gonna do some simple side twists. So twist over to your right side. Left hand comes to the outside of your right knee. As you lengthen through the crown of your head and twist over to the right. Inhale, arms come up, and exhale, twist over to the left side. Inhale, come back to center. Hands can come down and bring your feet together so the bottoms of the feet kiss for butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana. The looser your hips are, you can bring your heels a little bit closer to your hips, but just remember we're starting off early, so no need to prove anything this early in the morning or afternoon. I realize I'm working with East Coasters. Start to fold over your bound feet. One trick I like to use is taking my elbows and pressing my elbows into my calves to get into the inner hip space. Inhale, come on up, close your knee like a book, and make your way to a forward fold. Here in this forward fold position, your feet are about hips width distance. You can take a little bit wider as we first start. Folding your chest to legs. You can take ragdoll here, reaching your hands for opposite elbows and just start to sway back and forth. We're taking our time early in this class just to get warmed up. On an inhale, slowly roll up to standing, vertebrae over vertebrae. Arms come up to the sky, palms face one another for Urdhva Hastasana. Actively ground into your feet. Think about the 3 points of pressure. One just below your big toe, another below your pinky toe, and then one at the center of your heel. Creating this foundation to build something on top of it. Exhale, hands come to prayer at heart center. Straight line of energy from elbow to elbow for Samastihiti. Close your eyes and set an intention for your class. On your next inhale, arms come out to the side and up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips come to your shins. Exhale, keeping the lift in your chest. Plant your hands down and step your feet back for high plank pose. First opportunity to engage our Hasta Bandha, the bind in our hand. So spread your fingertips as much as you can and equally press down into your fingertips, knuckles, and the heel of your hand. On an exhale, slowly lower down to your belly. Option to come down to your knees first. Inhale, Cobra, press down into the tops of your feet and front of the pelvis as you lift your chest off the ground. Exhale, chest comes down to the mat. Tuck your toes, hips come up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, lift to the top of your mat. Exhale, step your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to stand, arms come out to the side and up to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, chest to legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down and step your feet back for high plank pose. Stay here for an inhale, puffing up in the back of the heart space. Exhale, slowly lower down to the mat. Press down into the tops of the feet and the palms as you start to open and lift the chest off the ground. Exhale, chest comes down to the mat, toes tuck, hips come up and back. Inhale, look to the top of your space. Exhale, step your feet forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Arms come up to the side and up to the sky. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Here in this forward fold, tent up your fingertips and start to walk your hands over to the right side. Grounding down through both of your feet, feeling a stretch in the left IT band and left hip. On your next inhale, hands come to center. And then start to walk your hands over to the right side. Again, grounding now through your right foot, feeling a deep stretch in the right IT band, right hip. On your next exhale, come back to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down and step your feet back for high plank pose. Option to take chaturanga here or just lower down to your belly. For chaturanga, make sure that you're bending your elbows just to 90 degrees, hugging the elbows to your rib cage, and then rolling on the top of your feet to upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips come up and back for downward facing dog. This down dog posture is a great opportunity. It's kind of a good home base. Anytime that you're feeling especially like you need to tap out, but you still want to build heat and energy, this is an active recovery pose. Inhale, look to the top of your space. Exhale, step your feet forward for chair pose. Feet together, toes touch. Weight comes back into the heels. Arms come up to the side as your biceps squeeze into your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands back down. Step your feet back for high plank pose, Balasana. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, hips come up and back for down dog. Inhale, right foot reaches to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot behind your, oh my God. George. Step your right foot behind your right thumb. Rotate your left foot to a 45-degree angle. Press down into your right foot as your chest lifts off of your thigh for Warrior One. So in Warrior One, this is a closed hip pose. So you'll want to draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale, interlace the fingers at the low back and puff up the chest space. Exhale, humble warrior. Fold over your right leg so that your right shoulder meets your right knee. Bound fists come up to the sky. On your next exhale, hands come to frame the right foot. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, lower your right foot down. Stay here for a couple breaths. George is going to enjoy his breakfast in the kitchen. He's so cute. All right, here we are in down dog. Inhale, left foot rises. Exhale, step your left foot behind your left thumb. Rotate your right foot down to a 45-degree angle. As you inhale, press your weight down into your left foot, chest rises, shoulders stack over your hips. Stay here for an inhale as you draw your left hip back, right hip forward, squaring off your hips here. On your next inhale, hands interlace at the low back, reaching the bound fist towards the back of your mat. And exhale, fold forward, humble warrior, left shoulder comes to your left knee. If you're having issues with balance, you can heel toe your left foot over to the left side to give you a little bit wider of a stance. Exhale, hands come down to frame the left foot. Inhale, left foot rises. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot comes to meet the right. Now we're going to do a little bit of balancing later on, so I wanted to bring in some core. So lower down to your knees. Find yourself in a tabletop position. Shoulders stack over your wrists and your hips stack over your knees. Inhale, right leg rises behind you. Left hand reaches in front of you. Inhale, extend through your left fingertips and your right heel. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Inhale, reach. Exhale, touch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, right knee comes down to the ground. Left hand comes down to the ground. Moving over to the other side. Extend your left leg towards the back of your space. Left leg is parallel to your mat. Right hand reaches forward. Right thumb points up to the sky. Exhale, knee to elbow. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, plant the left knee down, right hand down. Now all that to warm up our core so we can move into bear pose, finding that tabletop position, engaging your Hasta Bandha, remember, engaging all parts of your hands. Tuck your toes, and as you inhale, lift your knees off of the ground. Staying here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. And on your next exhale, you can bring your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Great job, guys. I know that's like looks like it could be a simple pose, but it actually involves a lot of core strength. And you might even be enacting some muscles that you didn't necessarily know existed. So good job on that round. It's preparing us for what's to come. Inhale, bring your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Here for low lunge. Left heel is lifted off the mat. Press down into your right foot. As you lift your chest off your thigh, Anjaneyasana, arms come up to the sky. We're gonna do some movements to link breath to movement. So as you inhale, straighten the right knee. Exhale, bend the right knee and bend your elbows to cactus your arms. 2 more just like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. And then come back to Anjaneyasana, keeping the bend in the right knee. On an exhale, open arm twist. Left hand comes to the front of your space, right hand comes to the back. Feeling the stretch right here in your right outer glute, your right IT band. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale, airplane your arms back, leaning your chest forward. On an inhale, step your left foot forward for chair pose. Feet together, toes touch. Arms come up to the sky. Seat comes towards the mat. Inhale, press into your heels. Arms come up. And then we're going to do some side bends. So you can interlace your fingers except for, bring your hands of prayer above your head. And interlace your fingers except for your index finger. So as I face you, my arms are reaching up. Exhale, bend over to the left side, feeling the side body stretch in your right side. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, over to the right side. Feeling the side body stretch in the left. Inhale, release the hands. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step your feet back. High plank position first, and then down dog. Inhale, left foot rises. Exhale, step your feet in between your hands for low lunge. Inhale, high lunge, shoulders stack over your hips. Exhale, bend the left knee a little deeper. Keep your right foot engaged by pressing into the ball of your right foot and lifting the right heel off of your mat. Inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, bend the left knee, cactus the arms. 2 more. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend. Last one. Inhale, straighten the knees. Exhale, bend the knee and cactus your arms. Keeping the bend in the left knee, hands come up to the sky. And exhale, open arm twist, this time to your left side. Left hand reaches towards the back of your space. Right hand reaches towards the front. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale, airplane your arms, start to lean your chest forward. Inhale, step your right foot forward for chair pose. Exhale, bring your seat closer to the ground. On an inhale, press into your heels, come on up to stand. Hands come to prayer above your head. Interlace the fingers except for your index fingers. Inhale, reach. Exhale, this time bend over to your right side, feeling the stretch in the left side body. Inhale, reach. Come up to center. Exhale, fold over to the left side. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, fold forward. Here in this forward fold, I am learning as I grow. I am whole as I heal. You can start to rock back and forth like we were doing earlier. Feeling what type of sensation you've already created in the lower body. As we continue to move together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down and step your feet back to high plank pose. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, hips come up and back for down dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step your foot forward, preparing for warrior 2. Rotate the left foot so it's parallel to the back of the mat. Heel to arch alignment. Arms come up to the sky and then open up to your left side. I'm going to switch directions here. Here in warrior 2, open hip stretch, right? So as opposed to warrior 1, where we were drawing one hip back, so both of our hips were facing forward. In this case, it's open, and we still want to be active in both legs. So yes, of course, we always have this main focus of bending the right knee. Our goal is eventually to make it parallel to your right thigh, parallel to the mat. We also need to remember your left foot. So as you press into the knife edge of your left foot, you're engaging your left leg. You're giving yourself a way stronger foundation than if you were just focusing on one leg. Inhale, straighten the right knee. Triangle or Trikonasana. As you exhale, reach your right hand forward. Draw your left hip back. Just when you can't reach any further, right hand comes down to either your shin or your ankle. Now, I did want to introduce a block. This isn't necessary, but if you do have one handy, you can place it on the outside of your right foot just to bring your mat a little bit closer to you. Either way, your left hand comes up to the sky. Bend the right knee. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Turn your feet so that they're parallel to one another. As we prepare for our wide-legged forward fold, you can add a little bit of a micro bend to your knees. Hands come to waist. Engage the low belly and start to fold over your legs. Hands planted at the center, coming into frog pose, lower down to your knees. Weight is in the big toe side of your foot. Shins are parallel to one another. Knees are as wide as you feel comfortable, but your hips should be in alignment with your knees as you start to lower down or stay up, right? Whatever you feel is most comfortable for you. If this is hurting on the inside of the knees, you can come up real quick and then fold over your mat just to give you a little bit extra support. If all feels good, you can start to walk down to your forearms and feel a deep release in your inner thigh. I am blessed as I find my way. Whatever type of position you are in this pose, it's your way. It's working with your body. We're not all gonna look the same in it. Inhale, slowly walk your hands back towards your torso. Tuck your toes, hips come up and back, and meet me back in that wide-legged forward bend. Feeling how that stretch is now migrated from your inner thigh to your hamstrings. You can walk your feet in a tad, micro bend in the knees, hands come up to your waist as you slowly come into standing. Heels turn in, toes turn out. Bend the knees down for horse pose, Vatayanasana. This is a pretty intense pose, so do what you want with the hands. Sometimes people like to rest them right on the inside of their knees. Sometimes they like to bring it to prayer. If you want to start to play around a little bit, I like to rock back and forth to get a little bit deeper into my hip space. I also like to lift one heel and then the next, just loosening up that you can feel the muscles work from your calves all the way to your quads from these tiny movements. On an inhale, press down into your heels, arms reach up to the sky, hips are pressed forward, feeling the release in that hip space that you created. Here in star pose, Utthita Tadasana, probably the most space that you've taken up all day, maybe even all week. Turn towards your right leg, exhale, waterfall your hands down to frame your right foot. Inhale, right foot rises. Exhale, lower your right foot down for downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot rises. Exhale, step your left foot behind your left thumb. Rotate the right foot so it's parallel to the back of your mat. And come on up, shoulders stack over your hips. Arms reach out to the side. Remember the spiel I said about being cognizant of both of your feet? Rings true on this side as well. Inhale, straighten the left knee. Exhale, draw your right hip back. Reach your left hand forward like you're reaching for a doorknob. And just when you can't reach anymore, you can place your left hand down on the shin ankle, or a block. Right arm comes up to the sky. Bend the right knee, coming back into warrior two. This time, turn your left toes so that your feet are parallel. And exhale, slowly start to fold over, wide-legged straddle. In this case, you can walk your hands over to the right side. Tip your fingers up and walk them over to the left. Breathing into the stretch. Moving into frog pose, hands come to center. Lower down to your knees and the big toe side of your foot. Again, shins are parallel. Knees are as wide as feels comfortable. And your hips are in alignment with your knees. Find your spot. Find your way as you lower in and start to stretch the inner thighs. Another variant of this pose is called tadpole. And in that case, you just bring your toes into touch. A little bit of a child's pose on crack, if you ask me, but it works. If you're in tadpole, come back to frog pose. Walk your hands back towards your hips. Tuck your toes, hips come up and back for wide-legged forward bend, Prasarita. Slight bend in the knees as you stack your shoulders over your hips. Hands come to the waist. Heels come in, toes come out, and then bend your knees so your hips come down to the mat. Horse pose here. Welcome to take the option that whatever you took in the first if you want to play around with that. Or another option is to place your hands right here on like the inside, well, just above your knees, and your thumbs come to the inside of the knees. And I like to do these shoulder rolls. So as I exhale, I roll the right shoulder down. Inhale, come back. Exhale, left shoulder down. Inhale, come back. Not only are you getting to move within the shoulder space, you're also creating some space within your hips. If you're doing these shoulder rolls with me, come back to neutral. Hands can come to center. And everyone on an inhale, press down in your feet, straighten your knees, arms come up to the sky for a star pose. I am blessed as I find my way, feeling the sensation in the hip space, and moving forward as we turn towards our left leg. Exhale, hands come to frame the left foot. Inhale, left foot rises. Exhale, left foot comes down. Inhale, right foot rises. Exhale, step your right foot in between your hands, preparing here for a low lunge. So your left knee is coming down to the ground. And walking your right foot forward, we're preparing for half splits. So just when your right foot can't go anymore, you'll bring your right toes up to the ground, or up to the sky, as you dig your heel into the ground. So Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits, stretching the hamstrings here. Might even feel a little bit in the calf as well. Inhale, lift the chest, tent the fingertips, and exhale, walk your hands over to the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Draw your right heel back, moving back into low lunge. Lift your left knee off the ground. Press down into the right foot for Anjaneyasana. Exhale, airplane arms as we start to lean our chest forward. So here, preparing for our warrior three pose, which is our balancing one. We've done a lot of great work to set us up for success here. If this is where you're at, that's fine. Like what you're working towards is really starting to put a majority of your weight this time in your right foot. If you're ready to join me in balance, inhale, lift off your left foot. If you have blocks, you can use those as stabilizers or even the ground. But our goal is to balance on our right foot as we flex our left, keeping the left leg engaged. Hands can come to prayer at heart center. Hands can reach to the front of your space, creating a T with your body. If you feel like you mastered those two, hands can come back to airplane, lifting the chest. Inhale, step the left foot forward here for chair pose. Exhale, come into one-legged Tadasana. This time, lifting your right leg, giving it a little bit of a break there. You can roll your ankles out a little bit here. Exhale, release and fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And this time, step your right foot back for low lunge. Right knee comes to the ground. Walk your left foot towards the front of your space. Just when you can't reach the left foot anymore, left toes lift to the sky. Really important to flex the left foot and make sure that your left toes and left knee are pointed straight up. That's the proper alignment of it. Inhale, lift the chest, tent the fingertips, and exhale, walk your hands over to the left side. On your next exhale, walk your hands back to frame your left foot. Draw your left heel back. Low lunge, then high lunge, lifting your knee off the ground. Arms come up to the sky. Exhale, airplane your arms, leaning your chest forward. Notice how you are still using your core here, right? What we started warming up in the beginning. Just to stabilize here, if you're ready for balance, inhale, lift off your right foot, coming into warrior three. If you find yourself shaking, that's good. It's okay. If you feel unsafe, try to find a space where you can lean a little bit, even if it's just to touch and gain confidence. With this shake, breathe and find stillness as you find your arm balance of choice. Inhale, right foot steps forward for chair pose as we sink in with an exhale. Inhale, come up to stand, Ekapada Tadasana. Right knee rises parallel to your right hip. Roll your ankle here, giving the left leg a little bit of a break. Lower the left foot down and exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. I am brave as I let go. I'm already proud of you, no matter what stage you got with that warrior three. It's not an easy pose. Moving into a little bit of our cool down. Come into a tuck, round, and curl. So you'll bend your knees down, bring your heels up. Moving into fire toes, some people's favorite, other people's nemesis, that's all fine. Knees come down to the ground, and then your hips come to your heels. So you'll notice my toes are tucked, right? And you might even wanna reach back and tuck your pinky toes because that's the one that usually tries to get away. But this is a really great way to stretch the bottoms of your feet. If you're running, if you're walking, even cycling, we're so used to just pressing down into our feet and we don't never really give them much love. So here's a really great release for it. At first, you might only be able to hold it for a couple breaths. Maybe then you're able to do a little bit deeper as you continue to practice. Untuck the toes. You can kick your feet into your mat to feel a little bit of that release, and then bring your hips back to your heels. As we prepare for a counter stretch, your fingers can be tented just around your knees, and you'll move your way back just depending on your flexibility. So starting with the knees here, inhale, bring your knees up towards your chest. So lifting your knees off the mat, and you'll feel a stretch here in the tops of your feet and your ankles. I like to go a little bit further. So right here is my spot. Anywhere in between, you're giving your feet some love. All right, come down to your knees. Moving into seated twists. Legs are going to come out in front of you. Left foot extended. Bend your right knee. And plant your right foot on the outside of your left knee. Right hand planted behind you. Inhale, reach the left hand up to the sky. Exhale, hug your right knee into your torso as you start to twist here. Inhale, come back to center. Bend the left knee, keeping the right ankle stacked on the left knee. Here we are in seated figure 4. So your hands get planted behind you. Fingertips are pointed towards the back of your space. If you want to step your hips a little bit closer, you'll get a deeper stretch. If not, you can put your feet out a little bit wider, whatever's most comfortable for you. On an exhale, heel toe your left foot over to the right side of your mat. Drop down to your left shin. Preparing for fire log here. The most important thing is to keep both of your feet active and flexed. Your left shin is going to be parallel to the front of your mat. Right ankle stacks over your left knee. Right knee is hovering over your left ankle. Now see, I got a lot of space here. That's totally fine. If you do have a block, again, option to just place that right here for a little bit of support. If not, just let it hang. As long as you're not in pain, this is good. If you are feeling any type of pain, you can always come back to butterfly where we were earlier and stay here. But I do promise that I understand that this is a humbling pose, as many have already told me. It's really great to release in that outer hip and really the hip in general. So keep your feet flexed like there's ground underneath them. Inhale, rise through the crown of your head, and exhale. If you're comfortable, start to walk your hands in front of your space. Maybe your right knee comes down a little bit, maybe it doesn't. Inhale, shoulders stack over your hips. Whew, switching out the legs here, so you can do a little dance if you need a bit of a release. This time, bend your left knee and plant your left foot on the right side, outside of your right leg. Left hand planted behind you. Inhale, reach through the right hand. Exhale, twist over to the left side. Come back to center. Bend the right knee for seated figure 4. You might find that this is a little bit easier, maybe even a little harder than the other side. No two sides of our body is equal. Keep the left foot flexed here, keeping the legs engaged and your joints protected. Exhale, heel toe your right foot over to the left side. Fire log on this side. And boy, I'm about to burst your bubble because it might be, your left knee might be higher than your right. Shins are parallel to the front of your space. Left ankle stacked over right knee stacked, hovering over your left ankle, or left knee hovering over your right ankle. Take whatever shifts you need to in your seat as well. Like sometimes I'll just tap my fingertips and lift my hips and then pop down, and I actually find that I can maybe come down a little bit deeper. So just find whatever works best for you. And again, if that's butterfly, please go ahead and get into that as well. Part of that mantra, I am worthy as I do what's best for me, is especially useful to hear during these very humbling poses. Walk your hands in front of you. Inhale, walk your hands back, shoulders stack over your hips. Feet can unbind as I figure out where I grab your strap. I hid it from George. Make your way to your back. Right leg lifts, strap along the ball of your right foot. Inhale, press your heel into the ceiling. Exhale, open your right leg over to the right side. Being intentional with your left leg, you can place your left hand on your left hip to anchor it down. Left heel grounds down into your mat. Inhale, right leg comes up to the sky. Switch out the hands as you cross your right leg over your torso to the left side. Deep IT band stretch here. Something that can be put under a lot of stress, again, running, biking, walking, but even sitting all day. Inhale, right leg comes up to the sky. Release the strap, bend the right knee, and hook the right foot on the outside of your left thigh as you come in for a supine twist. This time our twist is more targeting our spinal cord. And our goal is to get our focus and our priority is to get the right shoulder onto the ground. Your right knee will eventually get to the mat, but you always want to anchor down through the right shoulder. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, squeeze the right knee in. Switching out the legs. Left foot comes up to the sky. Wrap the band around it. Extend through the heel of your left leg. Inhale, open up, or exhale, open up to the left side. Grounding down in your right leg. Inhale, left foot comes up to the sky. Switch out the hands. Exhale, left foot comes over to the right side. IT band stretch here. I am trusting as I change. Taking a moment here to feel the difference and notice the difference between how that stretch felt in the beginning of the class and how it feels now. Exhale, bend your knee into your torso. Left foot comes to the outside of your right thigh for supine twist. Left hand reaches out like a T, anchoring through the left shoulder. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, squeeze the knees in. Plant your feet down, preparing for bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. You should be able to graze the back of your heels with your fingertips. As you inhale, lift the hips off the ground. Hold. Inhale. And exhale, slowly lower down. Heel toe your feet to the outside of your mat, letting your knees knock in for broken bridge. Feeling the release in the low back, just above the tailbone. Taking a moment just to recognize how different your body feels from just an hour ago. Giving yourself some appreciation for getting to the mat and joining us for the practice. Inhale, knees rise. Exhale, squeeze your knees in. Inhale, legs extend to the front of your mat. Heels together, feet flap open. Hands come to rest as your side for Shavasana. I'm learning as I grow. I am whole as I heal. I am blessed as I find my way. I am capable as I discover my passions. I am brave as I let go. I am worthy as I do what's best for me. I am trusting as I change. As your body melts into the ground, inhale, identify the sensations that movement and breath has created. And exhale, melt into your mat.
This is my conquering song, laid on a wave so strong. Put the blood down high, well, this is my conquering song, where only my love survives. Long crawl and die, all us at the door be denied. Only my love survives. This is my thankful song for all that has been and gone, for the spirit of the eternal drum. Well, this is my thankful song for only my love survives. Long crawl to die, all else at the door be denied. Only my love survives. Only my love survives. A long crawl in the dark. All else at the door will be denied. Only my love survives. Only my love survives. Only my love survives. Only my love survives. Only my love survives.
Start to wiggle your toes. Inhale, arms come up to the sky and extend overhead for a big good morning stretch. Roll to one side, resting your head on your biceps. Keeping your eyes closed, slowly start to make your way to a seated position. Legs are crossed, hands come to heart center. Taking a moment to connect to your body, thanking every bone, muscle, joint, and ligament that took you through the practice. No doubt it was a challenge. Bring your hands to your third eye. Thankful for all the life lessons you picked up along the way, some easier than others. And exhale, fold forward, thankful for the space you call home, the places you've gone, and the places you will go once this all passes. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so, so much. I'm not going to apologize about the dog because I know you're going to tell me to stop. But thank you for your patience. I thought I had it down to a science, but that man has a mind of his own. Thank you again so much for the support. I wrote this in the email, but it's been 8 weeks of me doing this. And I'm just blown away by your guys' support and also seeing how much you guys are enjoying it and like growing in your practice. It really means the world to me, and I so appreciate it. And for those who this is their first class or even your second, like I so appreciate you guys coming back. And if you have any tips along the way, like I said, even just small feedback is going to go a long way in me improving my practice. And you'll notice that I did introduce blocks today, not too much because I know that not that many people have them, so I'm never going to make it necessary for the practice. But for those who do have them, I'm going to include just a couple like tips and tricks to use them. Of course, you can buy them on Amazon. But for my San Diego locals, there is a local studio that is trying to raise money by selling their used props. So Blocks is one of them. They're sanitizing everything. They're a really great studio. And if you're interested in learning more about them, just let me know and I will connect you guys. Again, they're always helpful. I love using props throughout it just to create more space. So namaste, my friends. Thank you so, so much. It was really great seeing you all, and I hope to see you guys next week.